How's it going, selectors, and welcome to another WeCross video here on WIXOSSZONE. What is one of the most creative inputs you can have on your card gaming and WeCross experience? Card sleeves. There are many types of card sleeves and card sleeving styles out there, and today I'm going to tell you how I sleeve up my WeCross decks. We're also going to talk about the types of sleeves I use, both normal and outer. We have some spicy numbers here that we're going to talk about today, where you can get them, all of that good stuff. So if you like to make your decks look the utmost pinnacle quality, just as absolute choice as you possibly can, then you'll want to stick around for today's video. Let's do it. All right, so let's start out by talking about the basic anatomy of a WeCross deck. Now, this is my Nova Uchu no Hajimari deck. I will have a full deck tech on this deck eventually at some point, but today we're going to use it as an example for this sleeve video. So you have your main deck here. So this is my main WeCross deck, and I choose some very specific sleeves for this deck. First of all, the sleeves are fantastic. As you can see, you can match them to your liking. These are official Red Zone Rogue and WeCrossZone sleeves. You can find these on my own merch store, but that's not the topic of today's video. I pick very specific sleeves for the main deck. I almost always choose highly durable sleeves like Dragon Shield. And by almost always, I mean I literally always choose Dragon Shield sleeves. These custom sleeves that are my own brand, they are actually Dragon Shield sleeves. So those are for the main deck. For the Elrig deck, I actually like to choose two different options. I like to sleeve up my main Elrig deck, which consists of the assists and center Elrig in one type of sleeve, usually, and by usually I mean almost always, anime art sleeves, and these are double sleeved in outer sleeves to protect your gorgeous anime art sleeves. And then for the piece cards, I like to sleeve these in different sleeves. And why do I do this? Well, it's because it's so much easier to determine, which one of these cards are the piece cards and which ones are your Elrigs. So when you're playing the game, you can be like, okay, these are my piece cards. These are the ones I need to use. Or these are the Elrig cards. These are the ones I need to use to level up and grow my Elrig. Both of these get the outer sleeve, and we'll talk about where you can find these outer sleeves, what they do, and all of that kind of stuff in a moment. But that's basically the layout of how I sleeve up my WeCross decks. I have the main deck in durable Dragon Shields. And why is this? Well, this is because this is the part of the deck that gets shuffled heavily, right? You're going to be shuffling this deck, so you want strong sleeves that are durable, that have great shuffle feel, and Dragon Shield are fantastic for these. And like I said, I have my own branded ones of these on redzonerogue.com. So if you want to have some with our characters, Katsumi and Vea, you can do that. And I will be making more of these as the future goes on to have different arts and all that kind of good stuff. And then for your Elrig deck, because this deck does not get shuffled, you can then use your anime character sleeves. And these sleeves are usually very not durable. They'll get kind of gross and they'll get, disgusting over time. So what I'll do is I like to make them, keep them in pristine condition and use the outer sleeve for these as well. So you have these nice sleeves and then you put them in these outer sleeves. Now you can choose to put this fancy bit either over the Elrig side or the sleeve side. I like to do it over the sleeve side so it doesn't get in the way of the Elrig at all, but it's all personal preference here, though I do prefer to do it this way. Also, shout out to Lucky Yuki for these awesome looking custom level 0 Elrigs. Really, really cool. And of course, on top of that, I like to theme them together. So as you can see here, you've already seen it, obviously. We have a summer swimsuit theme for this Uchu no Hajimari deck. And for my other decks, I like to theme them as well. So here we have my No Limit Ray deck. So this is a blue themed deck. Once again, I still use Dragon Shield sleeves. These are just some of the Dragon Shield mats. And then for the character sleeves, I have chosen two different Shadowverse sleeves for these. So you can tell which ones are the piece cards and then which ones are the Elric cards. And I just think this looks really, really nice. It helps you, differentiate what cards are which in a gameplay scenario, and these can be whatever sleeves because these don't get shuffled. They're not randomized ever, so it doesn't ever matter, so you can do this. Another example here is my DXM deck with Deus in the center. We have some more Red Zone Rogue Dragon Shield art sleeves, and then for the character sleeves, we have a Fire Emblem sleeve and a Shadowverse sleeve. Once again, these look fantastic, and this is just a great way to customize your experience, and instead of having just some boring sleeves or whatever. And then last but certainly not least, one of my favorite decks out there, this is my Ot deck. This one is sleeved in Dragon Shield dual mats. And as you can see, I kind of have these just themed around the deck a little bit. And this one I have some Grand Blue Fantasy sleeves and Shadowverse sleeves. If you couldn't tell, I really like the Shadowverse sleeves because they have awesome characters like Daria here. So yep, definitely have these kind of all themed together. And yeah, it's one of my favorite parts of actually building decks. All right, so before we go, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, that's cool and all, but how do I get these sleeves? You have all of these awesome anime sleeves, but they don't sell these at my LGS. How do I get these sleeves, especially these over sleeves? Well, let me show you what they are, and let me show you how to get them. So first of all, the over sleeves are actually these. These are KMC character sleeve guards, and you specifically want to get the 69 by 94 millimeter one. These are the ones for standard size cards, not the mini Japanese cards. And these aren't super expensive. I usually buy these in large packages so I can have these for the character sleeves, and they are made specifically for character sleeves. Another good thing to note is that they're wider than your normal sleeves. I'm not sure how much you can tell, but they're a little bit wider than the normal sleeves, but they still fit in stuff like your standard deck boxes, right? So let's bend this back a little bit. They still fit nicely into the standard deck boxes, so you don't have to worry about them being too big or anything like that. Some LGSs carry these, but I also like to buy these from both Amazon Japan and AmiAmi when I place orders for figures. Another thing you can do while you are on Amazon Japan or placing order for figures are these here. So these are the different kind of character sleeves that I like to purchase. We have the Chara sleeve collection. We have a different Chara sleeve collection, but I pulled this one specifically because we also have the Bushiroad sleeves. Now, as you saw, I like to buy a lot of Shadowverse sleeves. So Bushiroad has specifically Shadowverse Evolve sleeves, but if you wanted to get other Shadowverse sleeves, Chara also has them, and they're a little bit different. Like the Bushiroad ones, they have this golden border on the outside, whereas these ones do not. So just keep in mind that if you're looking for Shadowverse sleeves, both Bushiroad and Chara have them, but these are both great brands. I buy a lot of anime character sleeves from both of these brands. They're not durable sleeves, which is why I go for the Dragon Shield, but you can find these on a lot of Japanese merch stores. I prefer AmiAmi and Amazon Japan. I have a whole video going over how to buy all this stuff here on the channel. It's the very first video I uploaded. I will have a link in the description to that if you would like to know how to do that kind of stuff. And then last but certainly not least, we have the Dragon Shield sleeves. Now, the Dragon Shield sleeves are pretty easy to get. They're at every, game store. They are, in my opinion, the best sleeve brand in terms of durability and shuffle feel on the market, bar none. It's a reason why I have a sponsorship and an affiliation with Dragon Shield. They asked me and I was like, I love your products. Yes, sign me up. So in particular, I really like the dual mat sleeves in terms of shuffle feel and durability. And also they have the black inside, which looks fantastic. But I also have my own custom Red Zone Rogue sleeves if you want to get those beautiful waifu sleeves, but still have the awesome protection of Dragon Shield. Currently, I only have a couple versions of these available on my store for the anime style, but we have some other ones available. And like I said, we will have more as time goes on. And there you have it. That's all the information that you need to know to deck out your WeCross decks and make them look absolutely exquisite. Like I said, you can kind of theme them all together like I did for this Uchu deck. We have, the Katsumi and Veiya cards at the beach art, and then I like coupled that with some more awesome, you know, swimsuit art, Grand Blue Fantasy, and also Grand Blue Fantasy. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and let me know what you do for your card sleeving endeavors. I like to be a little bit extra, but I also like to make sure the decks look fantastic, because Wixoss is a game that looks fantastic, and I think your sleeves should match the excellence of your deck. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. See you next time.